I am a mama of two, and my littlest was 7 months old, and I really had kind of lost myself. And I couldn't resort to my previous ways of losing weight, which was to simply not eat, because that's not acceptable when you're breastfeeding. And my little man's needs were far more important than my vanity at that time. And so I needed a solution. I stumbled across Rose's page because of my sister-in-law, and I started following her, and I'm like, oh, look, healthy cauliflower rice, that's cool. And, you know, just sort of looking at her, she had posted her before photos, and I was like, well, look at her now. I'm like, if she can do it as a mama of three, I can totally do this as a mama of two. And that's where I started. I started this for my physical journey. I did sign up as a coach, but that's just because I found out that coaches save 25% off of Shakeology, and I'm all about a deal, so that's why I signed up as a coach. It had nothing to do with business. And I will say, I didn't even want Shakeology when I started, but Rosa was like, you know what? The people that get the best results use it, so you might as well. And if you don't get what you're expecting to get out of it, return it. No harm, no foul. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this for 90 days, and then I'm going to cancel. And I'm going to be done because I'm going to be skinny and I'm going to feel good and I'll never see these people again. It'll be wonderful. I had zero idea the community that I was being welcomed into when I became a challenger. I had no clue how inspiring these other women in the group with me would be. They're still my friends. As you can see, Rosa is obviously still my friend. That's where it started, though, was on a weight loss journey. And over the course of my journey, I lost 55 pounds and 34 inches. And I did that a healthy way. I was eating and nourishing my body and working out. And honestly, that is one of my biggest, still to this day, my biggest gratitudes, I guess you could say, in terms of coaching, is that I finally learned the right way to love this body. Instead of beating myself up for this body, instead of searching out every single hack there was for losing weight, I found the right way, and it hasn't failed me in 4 years. So that being said, as I mentioned, I was and is. I always say was, and it sounds like past tense. I still have my 2 kids. I am a wife and a mama. And when I had my kids, I was really, I was working a job I truly hated. I basically got pregnant, other than wanting to be a mom, but I got pregnant because I wanted to go on maternity leave. I didn't want to be there. And the thought of being on a year paid off, because here in Canada, I don't know if you're in Canada, but we get a year off paid. And that sounded glorious to me. And here's the thing, though, is I kind of sort of fell in love with being at home. And I kind of sort of couldn't imagine ever putting my little girl in daycare. I looked at her face, and every time she woke up from a nap and she was all cute and warm and snuggly, and I was like, I don't want to miss this. I'm going to have to go back to that job that I hate, and I'm going to miss this. So when Rosa said to me, because I was a pretty rock star challenger, I wanted to be the best in the group, so I was really slaying my results. So when Rosa said to me, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know if I thought she went to a special school or took a special course, but I didn't know it was something that anyone could do. Long story short, I said yes. I was all in from that day forward. So fast forward, my husband did have an amazing job, and in theory he still does, but my husband's been off work since June on a disability leave. And this coaching gig that when I first started, I thought to myself, if I could earn $200 a month to contribute to our groceries, this turned into, you guys, our family's sole income. This turned into covering our mortgage. This turned into paying for my kids' tuition at their school. This turned into truly something I never could have imagined it to be. And more than that is all that came from it. Yes, there was the physical journey, and yes, I earn an awesome income now. I don't have to work full-time hours. I really don't. I could probably do my work in more constructive hours if I focus better. I have a little bit of oh, look at the puppy videos. That happens to me. But honestly, it's more so the all-around life change that it's provided. And I don't say that in a vague way. It has changed my life completely. It has brought some of my very best friends into my life. I never thought my friends could live in my computer and be in there. And then when we hang out in person.
See each other in person, okay?
We do. I was about to say that when we do see each other in person, it's so normal. It's like we hang out all the time. And I think that's pretty unique and amazing. And I just I can't say enough about how I'm very grateful that I did decide to dream bigger, that I did decide to think there could be more, that I did realize I didn't have to work 9 to 5 at a job I hated to earn money to impress people that I didn't even really like. So now I just sort of do my thing for me and my family, and it's beyond amazing.
So you can see how, like, Karina and I, our stories are not the same, right?
Mm.
Like, our stories are very, very different. I came into it from a corporate background, and I came into it because I love fitness, and I wanted to look really good in a bikini, and I wanted to make money doing something that I like to do. Karina started with the fitness journey. She wanted to lose the baby weight, and then she's like, hold on a second, I could maybe grow a business here. So that kind of brings me to my next point. I just want to talk business with you guys a little bit. I do have a background in business, so like this is something that's important for me to discuss with you guys. Before we go there real quick, I want to expand on something Karina said. She said you like something, I can't remember what your words were, but you don't have to be a fitness expert to be a Beachbody coach. Sometimes I get some comments from personal trainers, etc., right? The reason for this is we're not building programs for people. I'm not giving you a personalized nutrition plan. I have a girl on my team who she went to college for like health and fitness. She has a degree in kinesiology, and then she's also a nutritionist, a certified nutritionist and personal trainer. She was building nutrition plans and personal training programs for people. Then she discovered Body Beast and Hammer and Chisel with Beachbody, and she was like, literally, Rosa, I'm spending hours and hours and hours building programs for people, and these customizable programs are all the work that I do already done. And she's like, I'm a little devastated and a little bit excited. So in any case, you don't need to be a fitness expert, because we trust the teams of experts at Beachbody to put together the programs that work. To be honest, I don't love every Beachbody program. That is no secret. I don't even like some of their programs. Some of them like make me want to barf in my mouth. But I have a lot of them that I do believe in, that I use, and that I help other people and support other people using. But that's the reason we don't have to be fitness experts ourselves, is because we're not building the program, we're not creating the program. Okay, so that being said, in terms of business and where business is going, I started this thing 4 years ago. It was less normal at that time to see like online entrepreneurs. But now, especially like when you think about Uber, they are one of the biggest transportation companies and most profitable transportation companies in the world. They do not own a single car. Amazon, you can't go in an Amazon retail store and buy crap, right? You have to order it online. They don't have any retail stores. And yet, are they now the #1 retailer in the US? I'm not sure, but they're one of the biggest retailers in any case in North America, not having any stores. So 4 years ago, I was thinking, why could I not be successful with an online business? Everything is going that way. Plus, I don't want to go to a gym from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. when people get off work so that I can train them, right? Like I want to build my business around my family, as opposed to my corporate job where I felt like everything was built around my job, and I sort of fit in some family time in between that. So yes, it is an outside the box sort of business opportunity, but I'm not interested in a box. I'm interested in a life. I'm interested in what my priorities are in my life. I'm interested in more time with my kids. I'm interested in more sun and more sand. I'm just that kind of person. I'm interested in financial security, honestly. It's a big deal for me to be debt-free and to not owe on credit cards and lines of credit, because that stresses me out. Mm-hmm. That was one of my big dreams when I started coaching was, oh my gosh, what if we could be debt free? We have paid off a $17,000 line of credit, all within the last 6 months. We paid off a $17,000 line of credit, a $10,000 line of credit, a credit card that was about $4,000 on it, and then another credit card that had $13,000 on it. So our dream of being debt-free, that is finally being realized. So like I said, I'm not interested in boxes. I'm not interested in following formulas. I'm interested in doing something that is going to allow me to live the life that I want to live. And I used to say life by design. I used to say I'm creating a life by design. I don't believe that anymore. I'm going to really try not to get emotional. My sister was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer a couple months back. And it like totally rocked my world, right? But this business is what's allowed me to help support her family so that her husband didn't have to go back to work because they have 3 kids and she needs caring for. And it allows me to travel to go see her. This business, this outside the box thing where I don't have hours, this is what's allowed me to support them in a way that I never would have been able to had it not been for this. I did have a question here that I want to answer real quick. Somebody asked, how can you be lower on the Canada coaches, but top 10 company-wise? So I'm a top 10 coach for 2016. With my sister's diagnosis in toward the end of January this year, my income has not dropped, but I am working less hours and I'm focused more on supporting my current, I have been more focused on supporting my current team and my current customers. My income hasn't dropped because I've done all of that work and built this business. But I get to make the decision to work less hours and do less things at a time when my family needs me. So that is how I am still a top 10. I'm still a 2016 top 10 coach, and leaderboards fluctuate every month for 2017 until the year is over. So just to answer that question real quick, Karina, go.
So a lot of times people question like what it is that we do. How do we do what we do? Because you see us on our social media and you see us doing like our sweaty selfies and our workouts and whatnot. And I think a lot of times people have this misconception that you have to be just like Rosa or just like Karina in order to succeed at a business like this. And especially a lot of my friends that are, it's funny because I am such, I come across as so extroverted on social media, but I actually am not. Like I need time to me to like, yeah, Rosa and I are very similar in that regard. Like, to recharge. I am happiest at home with my husband and my kids. That is my safety, right? So I can be me on social media, but on my time and my terms. And so when I have friends that are maybe even less on social media, I always just let them know that the way that you succeed in this business is you do you. You don't be, I am literally in sweatpants as we speak, literally. I made this look pretty and this is comfy. But you do you. It's not about being like anybody else. And in fact, when you try in this business, a lot of new coaches will try to mimic other coaches or copy posts or be similar. It doesn't translate. Because that coach is speaking to their person, and who you will speak to is your person. So where I live, my town is like 17,000 people on a good day. It is a small town. I had, just before I became a coach, deleted, honestly, probably about 250 people from my Facebook. Right?
Me too.
Because I had kids, and I'm like, oh, shoot, people can't see my kids. I got to lock this down. I had a group of 50 people I could name that was titled Picture People, that could see my life. So for me to now live like publicly out there in Facebook land, it was different for me. But the thing is, it's almost selfish not to, because we all have a story and we all have moments in our life that have brought us to where we are now. And we all have parts of us that others will relate to. And yes.
I just want to break in real quick because I have a point. Like, I think it's a really important one. The opportunity we have with social media, like your grandpa probably wants to punch you in the mouth because you get to have the opportunity. I love you guys. We get to have the opportunity to run a business, build a business on a free platform without buying TV ads. Nobody's watching TV anymore anyway. Like, we don't have to buy television ads. We don't have to buy commercials on the radio. Who listens to the radio anymore anyway, too, right? Like, I'm just saying, your grandpa probably wants to punch you in the mouth because the opportunity that you have to build this business on a free platform, whereas by sharing your story, all you have to do is talk about what you know because you know you. So anyway, it was burning, Karina. Sorry.
No, do it. I don't care. It's so true. Like, it takes time to grow into the comfort of doing that. But the beautiful thing is that we teach you how. We teach you how to pour into yourself so that you have the strength to do so. We teach you how to tell your story, and not ever in a fabricated, disgusting sales way. Because especially our team, it's not what we're about. And I love that, because you will see so many teams that are, 21 Day Fix, look at our containers, look at Shakeology, I'm kissing it, I love it. We're not that at all. And in fact, when I see that, I'm like, I cringe, because I'm like, ew, I would never want that to be my job. Our job is to pour into others. Our job is to pour into ourselves and help ourselves become the best version of ourselves possible while helping others do the same. That is literally our job. And yeah, the manipulative, no. And you know what? The beautiful thing is, when you're genuine, you can't be manipulative. Like, when you are talking from your heart and you are connecting with people, you can't manipulate that. If you can, you're a psychopath and should probably seek help. So no psychopaths on the Fit Republic. But that's truly what we do. And coaches in our team, we do start by running a challenge group, which is where other women are working on, getting into fitness, or dudes are too. I've run groups with dudes. For me, it's a little trickier because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what they got going on. But we run accountability groups. We get some results ourselves first so that we can speak to that and speak to what we're doing. Because I don't ever, nor could I ever, be motivated by hawking a product. I could never be motivated by sales, but I can be motivated by life change. And when people ask me what I do, am I a coach? Yes, but I am more, in my mind, like a wellness coach and somebody that just empowers people, not sells somebody a product and says, see you later, thanks for coming out. So that's what the Fit Republic stands for, is empowering people.
All right.
Powering off.
Sorry, my speaker was talking. When it starts up though, that voice when you start a Beachbody workout, that like Beachbody.
Yes.
Sounds like exactly like that, except for it says speaker is on. Okay.
My kids do that and it's super creepy. They're like, Beachbody. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to share a bit about my income progression with you guys, my income as a coach, because I want you to understand, Karina and I are both going to share that. The reason we're both going to share that is because I want you guys to understand that there is a huge variety when it comes to personality types, goals in terms of fitness, goals in terms of like what you want to build financially. There is a huge range of goals, and therefore, while our business strategy remains the same, the amount of time you're putting in varies depending on what your goals are. So I'm just going to give you my income progression and sort of what happened in those years. My very first year as a coach, I started working. I was very serious about this business right away. I had just had my third baby. Literally, I had my third baby 2 days before I became a coach. Hold on, September 29th is his birthday, and October 1st I signed up. So yes, 2 days. And the reason I did that, I told my sponsor coach, I told my mentor, if I am pushing a baby out when registration opens, it's their third baby. Chris doesn't really need to see what's happening. He's just going to go and register me if that's happening. Luckily, that wasn't the case. But I was very, very adamant that I was going to use my maternity leave to make this opportunity real for me and my family. I had to replace a certain amount of my income before I could tender my resignation to corporate. So I took my maternity leave while I was sleep deprived. My number 3 baby was a tiny jerk. He did not sleep. He's so cute, but he would not sleep. But for me, I could just taste the freedom. I was like, I will lose sleep. I will nurse the baby and do things, on the laptop. I did. I certainly didn't work full-time hours. Oh my gosh, no. But I was very serious about it. I was extremely consistent. By the end of my first year, I was earning about $1,000 a week, but income starts slow. It took me about 12 months to do that. However, income starts slow, and I earned about $24,000 in that first year. Remember that income starts slow. Like, you're building a business. It's like you don't start posting on Instagram and then people are like, oh my gosh, I should pay money for whatever she's doing. She did a post on Instagram. That's not how it works, right? You build up your credibility, you share your story, et cetera, et cetera. My second year as a coach, I earned $46,000. It was $45,000 or $46,000. I can't remember 100% for sure. In that second year, I started to earn Beachbody leadership bonuses. They put aside a full 2% of profits every quarter for leadership bonus pools. There are 4 different bonus pools. I will not get into the details of all of this for you guys, but I did start to earn those leadership bonuses in year 2, and they probably amounted to about $4,000 in the year. So it wasn't hugely significant. Year 3, I earned $146,000. Year 3 was when I really started to sort of hit my stride. I felt like I knew what I was doing on social media. I finally felt like I knew what I was doing on social media. Although, you get better and better. It's a progression as you go. And I felt like I was in the swing of things. I had found my rhythm. Chris had left his job, and he actually left his job. My husband left his job 1 year ago, March of 2016, left his job as a police officer just because it was time to move on to the next chapter, and he had the opportunity to do so. And then in 2016, my T4A blew me away, like totally blew me away. It was $244,000 and change. Plus, I do some stuff with my husband's business center as well. It's on his statement of income, so there was a little bit over there as well. But I want you guys to understand that, it's not about the money for me. I like makeup and I like trips and all of that stuff. I buy too many workout clothes. However, what it is for me is what I said to you before. It gave my husband the freedom to come home from a job that was, if you don't know and love a cop, it's hard to understand. It's a taxing career. And so, it actually looks like he's going to find something new this year. So that's super exciting. And he had the opportunity to do that. I get to support my sister, and I get to make people the priority instead of making debt and money and stress and a job the priority. So that is my income story. I will answer questions certainly after we're done. Karina, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. And just like Rosa said, we all have different goals, and I'm completely inspired by the path that Rosa was on. It's why I'm on her team. However, I didn't know. This is the thing. A lot of times when you get into coaching, you don't know what it can be. So when she asked me my big, fat, hairy, scary goal, and I said to earn $200 a month to help pay for groceries, she's like, you might want to dream a little bigger. And I was like, okay. And so, I started thinking, what would I want this to be? And what could this be for my family? And honestly, it was, for me, there's a big part of me that wants my husband home. And yes, he is home now, just not on the terms we had expected it to be. But it was a big thing for me, is that we have little kids. My husband is turning 50 on Tuesday. I say it like whispering in case he hears. He knows it's his birthday. But he's turning 50 on Tuesday, and he's 14 years older than me. And I lost my dad when I was 13. And so it's really, really important to me that my kids have their dad for as long as they possibly can and as much time with him as possible, because I feel like when my dad passed away, I was just getting started on getting to know him and getting to have like time with him, because he worked his butt off for our family and I rarely saw him. So that being said, that was a huge motivator for me, is a huge motivator for me. But I had 2 littles as well, and I was taking it slower. I didn't have aspirations of being top 10 at that time. It's not to say I don't have it now. But so, my first year, I sort of, meandered through this. And I think in my first year, I was looking for my paper because I have no clue where that notebook went. I recently just jotted it all down. But in my first year, I think I earned about $11,000 in my first year. And I mean, that was great for the limited time I was putting into it. And like if you treat it like a business, it pays you like a business. And if you treat it like a hobby, it pays you like a hobby. And I was told that right when I started. And I kept getting more lit up and more lit up and more lit up. So I think my second year was about $30,000. And then like my T4s for 2016 just came in the mail on Wednesday. I did a live video on my page about it because I was completely blown away. I've worked since I was 15. I worked retail for like years and years and years. And I have never in my life had a T4 that was for just shy of $60,000 ever. And I wrote Rosa and I said, I am struggling with this. Like, I don't know what to make of this. And she's like, why would you not just own that? Like, what's your problem? Like, I don't know. But because
I was nicer than that, I think.
No, you were. but like I was really, truly almost in shock. It's why I didn't really react to it. I thought when I got that T4, I'd be in tears, I'd be screaming, I'd be like pouring champagne, but it almost put me into a state of shock of, holy crap, I did this. I built this. And, I mentioned briefly before that, I'm able to cover our mortgage and stuff and whatnot, but we're in a better place now because my husband has gotten his disability insurance. So that's wonderful. I still make more than him, I have to say, but here's the thing. I actually wrote Rosa just a few days ago saying there is a freedom in not having to question buying something. I used to have to go through the grocery store and have my calculator on my phone open to make sure that I wasn't going to get declined when I got up there. And I had gotten declined before when I added up wrong or something came out that I didn't know was coming out, because that's how small our account was. That was how little window room we had. I don't have that anymore. I'm not saying I'm ridiculously rich or anything, but I'm saying we have more than enough. We are in a good place. We are provided for, and it fills me with joy that I do that from home. I'm in my basement right now. I hear my kids being animals upstairs. In the summertime, I see them playing out in the yard from my window here. Like, this is truly what I've always wanted. I want to earn my income, but I want to be a mom, and I want to be able to choose my time, because I don't do well with authority. I don't like bosses. So it really can be whatever you want it to be for where you're at in your life. Was I supposed to talk about something else? I think I was.
Yes. We have a new coach training starting up. Karina and I are partnering up for this new coach training. I want to talk to you a little bit about what you're going to learn and when it starts and all of that stuff. So here's the deal though, before we get started on that. Everybody goes through the same coach basics. Everybody goes through the same training material when they start. Everybody, because it is truly the basics. You have to learn how to use social media. You have to learn how to share your story. You have to learn that taking a selfie from this angle it doesn't work for anybody. So you learn how to use social, not just stuff like that, but stuff like taking advantage of Facebook, Instagram metrics, like so that your post gets seen more, like all of that kind of stuff. You learn that stuff. You learn to put your name out there as a coach, to open your business, you offering some free value. So what we do is we teach our coaches to run some sort of free group. Guess what? You've got like templates to choose from. There are like 5 templates or something to choose from. Everything's in there, whether it's a clean eating challenge or a workout challenge, everything's in there. You don't have to do it. You can add your flavor to it, but you don't have to come up with it on your own, because we want you to get a fast start in this business and get a few quick wins in this business, right? So everybody goes through the same training when you start out. From there, here's how it works. You take a step, I take two. You do something, I'm going to give you all the tools that you need to be successful. You want to make it a goal to earn $50,000 in your first year? You can do that. I can help you do that. But we have to see the action behind the words. And so we do have subsequent trainings. We have next level trainings going on all the time. And if you're somebody who is taking action on the first stuff that you learn, then you're always more than welcome. I want to say as well that whoever your sponsor coach is, we call it a sponsor coach. So if you're here because I invited you, I would be your sponsor coach. This mentor-mentee relationship never goes away. If it's helpful for you to be a part of my fitness challenges for a while, then do that. You never really get rid of me. If Karina wanted to be in my fitness challenges, she could. She doesn't want to.
I still am.
Oh yeah, you are. Never mind. So this relationship doesn't go away, but it doesn't always look the same. And that depends on, what your goals are and the time that you're spending into your business, your consistency, et cetera, et cetera. The new coach training, we're going to be doing a private group. Every day in that group, we will be answering your questions. Once a week in that group, we will also be doing a team call, so a smaller group team call with all of the new coaches to make sure that we're answering any and all questions and sort of hashing out what you're learning in the new coach training. So that starts on March 20th. So not tomorrow, Monday, but the following Monday. For registration options, to get registered as a coach, contact the person who invited you, and we'll talk through what the options are because there are a few different options. And we can talk through what the best one is going to be for you. Lastly, prize draws. I'm giving away some of my favorites. Karina's doing a couple of prize draws too. I will let you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give away Shakeology, a bunch of cafe latte Shakeology. I ordered an extra box of it because I am obsessed with this flavor. It is life. I am sad if I ever don't get to drink it. So this is Beachbody Superfood Supplement. It's our flagship product. The cafe latte flavor to me is the best. I think vanilla is disgusting, but Karina likes it. So I'll be doing a giveaway for 10 packets of cafe latte. Also, I'll be doing a giveaway for Energize, which is our pre-workout supplement, and then a Core de Force workout program, which is our brand, newish, 6 months, 4 months, something like that. Martial arts based program, and then also Hammer and Chisel, which is we've got a martial artist in the room, and I'll also be giving away somebody's choice of a lifting program. So that could be Hammer and Chisel or Body Beast. These are my favorite products, and so that's why I am giving these away. I'll be posting in our private group and asking for you guys to comment below if you were here, if you attended live, and I will post the winners. My kids are going to draw names out of a hat, and I'll post the winners, and Karina will as well tomorrow. So if there are any other questions, let me know. Oh, Missy has a question. You don't have to stick around, totally up to you. Missy had a question. She says, why is it always women that teams are looking for? Beachbody is made up largely of women. However, one of my best friends within Beachbody he was a top 10 coach last year as well. He and I did our the last 6 months of our top 10 run together. There are successful male coaches out there. However, the reason it's mostly a female-driven business is because typically women tend to be more open to using social media. That's it. That's what it is. Women tend to be more open to using social media, sharing their stories, connecting with people, doing these free groups, that kind of thing. There are very successful men as well. Top coach for, I think, 3 years running. Top coach was a dude, 3 years running. Josh Spencer, who's also a friend of mine. Wayne Wyatt was 2 years running, and he's one of Josh's coaches. So yes, there are successful men. You just have to be willing to actually do the things that the women do with a male flavor, though. I have to say it's not the same, because a guy, like guys typically, I'm just going to say typically, they don't want to get into a challenge group and talk about their feelings every day. Girls do, right? So the flavor might be a little bit different, but hopefully, Missy, that answers your question. If there are no other questions, then I think we are good to go. Please comment below my post so that I can enter you in the prize draw. And that is it. Happy Sunday, you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Bye.